Hi everybody, Robert Dyer, and welcome to the Robert Dyer channel, where we're going to examine this Hungry Man handfuls, and it shows a hand gripping this what is apparently a Hot Pocket on steroids, 2 times the size of the leading handheld pocket brand. Sounds like a video game. They have several varieties, and this is the Fillin Philly Cheesesteak. Steak, peppers, onions, and American cheese wrapped in a savory crust. Seems to me it should be Cheese Whiz if it's a real Philly cheesesteak. So I got this going in the microwave right now. Let's get it out and see what we got here. Here's a close-up on the box and what they're promising us. The green peppers in there, melted cheese. We have the nutrition facts, a whopping 610 calories. Plenty of fat in here, plenty of cholesterol. It's also a salt bomb, 1,280 milligrams, and you get 19 grams of protein. I guess one positive in this is you get 60% iron for the day. That's pretty good, but plenty of unpronounceable ingredients on here. Hexametaphosphate, natamycin, sounds like a antibiotic or something. And here's the finished product out of the microwave. It does have a nice edge on the crust there. Zoom in a little bit closer. I actually don't mind when the filling comes out a little bit on frozen items like this, because at least you know that it's cooked all the way then. Instead of biting in halfway, you find out it's ice cold. Pretty nice bakery design on that. Well, holy smokers, this is pretty big. And it's, you can feel it is sort of a different texture on, at least on the top. The bottom is kind of, you can tell it's quite stiffer than the top is. And you know, we call these Hot Pockets. If you're from Latin America, you know they're empanadas. I had neighbors who were Cuban exiles when I was growing up, and I was fortunate to get an actual authentic recipe for empanadas. This smells different from a Hot Pocket. It actually has a more buttery, fat kind of dough aroma to it than that sort of cardboard aroma you get on the Hot Pockets. Let's go ahead and see how it tastes. In that first bite I got mainly dough, so it's a good chance to test that out separately, and it does definitely taste like it's got more fat and butter in it than the Hot Pocket crust. It's got sort of a pop-over dinner roll element to it. It's got squirted by hot steak and cheese here. Well, you can see the steak in there, the blobs of melted cheese, and there really is a good distinctive flavor of the green peppers in there. I think you probably might agree with me if you look here that the filling is not as tall and overstuffed as it appears on the box, so that's certainly something that I'm taking note of here. There's a lot of air inside of this, even though what filling is there is definitely tender steak and melted cheese. Now we've hit big trouble in Little China down here as I get to the bottom half of this. Hard as a rock on the bottom. This does not happen with Hot Pockets in my experience. You know, they have that special crisping sleeve, and that gives it more of a uniform cooking to the whole thing. This one, it seems like the brunt was taken on this one end, and this is just hard as a rock. I have to go to the hospital if I tried to bite through this. So it looks like I'm going to have to bite off the top, or get a spoon and scrape it off of this bottom plank, which you might just want to nail to your wall, perhaps like a piece of plywood.
Gillette, the worst a man can get.
Well, overall this ended up to be in some ways impressive, but ultimately a mixed bag. Did they beat the size of the Hot Pockets? Yes, definitely. Did they beat them on flavor and the texture of the crust? Absolutely. It's very salty. It is a salt bomb, but the steak is very tender. The onion and green pepper flavors came through very well. The filling was understuffed in my opinion. What was there in terms of melted cheese and beef is about as good as a hot soup on a cold day like this, so that was also a positive. But again, too little filling, especially when you say Fillin, Philly Cheesesteak, and you show this. I think you ought to put the filling in there then. So we need more filling, and we also have a nearly fatal flaw here with the fact that they cut back expenses on the packaging by not having a crisping sleeve so that you get a uniform product like the Hot Pocket. So I prefer the flavors of this over the Hot Pocket steak version. I definitely prefer the size. I prefer the richer, fattier, butterier crust. So with this mixed bag in mind, I'll say that while the flavors here are 5 stars, the overall product I'm going to end up giving 3 stars for the lack of filling and lack of evenness in cooking that crust. Hope you like this video. Share it with your friends. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.